So I'm on the treadmill right now, and it's Friday. As of tomorrow, I'm 10 weeks out from the Wings of Strength, which is the show that I'm trying to be my best at. You know, the week before is that Maryland show. Let me see if I can. Let's see. The week before is the Maryland show. And I'm not really necessarily trying to peak for that show. I'm just going out to Maryland, and however I look is how I look. But I wanted to get this off my chest before I forget what I want to say. You know, there's a lot of times during the week where I think of really cool things or of topics that I think are really important that I think people could learn from, with me being just an average bodybuilder, and, you know, most people out there being average bodybuilders as well and comparing themselves to pros and stuff. But throughout this entire dieting process, I've had, I don't know, maybe one or two emotional breakdowns. Not to the point to where I ate anything I wasn't supposed to, or missed workouts or anything like that. It was more so taking pictures and just kind of thinking I'm not good enough and lacking confidence, which we all go through. But yesterday, I had my first real breakdown, I guess you could say. And I don't want to put out this image that I'm perfect, because I don't really think anybody's perfect. I think a lot of people put out this image that they don't do anything wrong and that they're hardcore and everything like that, and that's just not reality. I know that there's a lot of people out there that, and probably a large majority, that aren't perfect. And I try to be as perfect as I can, and I really promote, you know, wanting it and working hard and all that kind of stuff. But yesterday, I had to admit to Matt that I hadn't taken a day off since the Arnold Classic. Yesterday, I believe, was April 21st. So we're looking at about 7 straight weeks of nonstop, everyday training, cardio, and whatnot. I also had to admit that I had let my insecurities get the best of me, and I was doing double cardio. So Matt had me doing 30 minutes of intervals, and I was doing that, anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, depending on the day. And I was doing that, but then I was continuing the cardio until I got to an hour. And I've been doing that for weeks on end, and I've been increasing intensity as I've gone along. And I basically buried myself. I got to the point to where I was taking the Clen, caffeine, ephedrine, DMAA, everything, just to get up for the cardio in the morning, because I was just so run down. And then later in the day, I would do that again just to train. So we're talking crazy amounts of stimulants just to get through cardio and training, instead of doing what I was supposed to and not overtraining. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to my diet, you know, like, I've gone a few weeks where my high carb days were only a couple 100 grams, and my low days they've been as low as 70 now, a few days a week. And so calories are super low, double cardio, training 5-6 days a week as hard as I can that day, getting all stimmed up, and you know, I don't care what anybody says, stimulants on days where you need them are pretty good. But if you take them consistently, you're going to overtrain. You're just going to do too much. Especially somebody like me that doesn't necessarily have the genetics to build muscle mass easily and should probably be taking a lower volume approach to my workouts. But I would be training for a couple hours because I was just all geeked out of my head. So I had to break down and tell him that. And I'm sick. I got, it's not like this crazy sick where I feel shitty, but you know, we put the trend in 12 days ago or whatever it was, and you guys all know that I'm very sensitive to that, and so sleep is like, I'll go 4 nights without sleeping, and then finally the 5th night my body will just shut down and I'll sleep, which was last night, and that's why I'm on the treadmill now, even though I'm not supposed to be. So Matt ordered me to take 3 days off completely from the gym if I felt that I needed it. And since I slept last night, I'm at least going to do cardio today because I can't just sit around doing nothing, man. I just feel like I'm wasting time away. But here's the point to all this is that all of that overworking and all of that insecurity that contest prep breeds led me to, I'll just go over it. So I ate, it's not even that bad. I'm like the worst cheater in the world. And I sent David Paterick and Santi and Andrew Vu and some other people, Joe Binley. But I ate this bag of kids' graham cracker, like animal crackers. These organic chocolate animal crackers, which is about 250 grams of carbs and 65 grams of fat total. I ate a couple bags of beef jerky and a couple of those Larry and Lenny protein cookie things. I had 2 of my wife's lean cuisine meals that were in the freezer that had mushrooms in them. She hates mushrooms. I love mushrooms. And so they just been in the freezer, so I ate those. And what else? There was one other thing. I can't remember what it was. But so all in all, like, it's not that bad. But the point is, I just want to make the point that, like, you know, sometimes we have these things that happen and we're not perfect. All of my friends are better bodybuilders than me. Even Johnston and Smith and Paterick's prepping right now, and I got all these people sending me these pictures and they look so awesome, and here I am just chugging along trying to do the best I can with what I got. And the more I ran myself in the ground, the more I let that emotional stuff get to me. Like, I told Lance Bales that I had this breakdown. He's like, man, just like, and everybody basically said the same thing. They're all like, that's little shit that you ate is probably going to do you more good than harm because you've been so low carb and everything for so long. You got to keep in mind, I'm not getting any fats except for red meat at the end of the day and the 3 grams of fish oil I take. I guess on my super low days, I do a tablespoon of oil too. So, but otherwise, fats are low, like around 30 grams a day, man. They're super low. And so everybody's like telling me that, you know, that the food I ate would probably do more good. I didn't go out and get any burritos or pizza or fast food or anything like that. Like, I'm not even a good cheater. Santi said, just go get some sushi and start over tomorrow. I'm like, no way. There's no way I could do that. So I came home and ate those 2 lean cuisine meals that were in the freezer, and the chicken breast. I had a chicken breast with it. But the point is, you know, this shit happens. I'm not perfect. And that's kind of what this whole thing is for me. This whole little engine that could thing. I'm not perfect, man. Like, I do the best I can. I doubt I'll have any more hiccups after this. I haven't had any thus far as food is concerned or anything like that. I just tried too hard to do too much. And I ran myself in the ground. So 2 lessons out of this. Number 1, pay attention to your body. Today I feel good, so I'm doing this cardio, you know? Like, right now I'm making a video and I'm holding on. But I woke up feeling pretty good. I woke up feeling like I could do some cardio today at least. I may or may not train later. It just depends on how I feel. But I'm not going to take a bunch of stimulants in order to get a workout. Maybe one scoop of a caffeine-based pre-workout, and that's it. No other stimulants in there. I'm not going to keep taking DMAA just to get through workouts. If I don't feel like, I've always known that I have to take a low volume approach, and I'm trying to do a higher frequency now. So that means I'm really going to have to lower my volume and train smart, not hard at this point. I'm not going to build any muscle. I just need to maintain it. I just need to keep the little bit of muscle that I got. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is if you do happen to have like a mishap or whatever, as far as your nutrition is concerned, or you're getting depressed or having kind of an emotional breakdown, which happens to the best of us. I don't care what anybody says or how hardcore they are. It happens to a lot of people. I'm not doing a Gabe Moen at 3 weeks out and eating pizza and shit. I'm 10 weeks out still, but don't fucking keep it in, man. Don't be a man and not tell your friends. Like, people will support you and they'll tell you not what you need to hear, but what you need to do. And that was, it happened. You can't undo it. Get back on a fucking horse. Last night I got home like 8 o'clock. I cooked about 9 pounds of chicken, 10 pounds of chicken. I got rice made in there. And today I'm back on my fucking diet, man. I took that one day. I felt sorry for myself. I always kept it in the back of my mind that you can't go crazy. You can't go get sushi or burritos or anything like that. Yeah, you're eating off your diet, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So share with your friends, man. Get that support. And if you do fuck up, get back on your shit the next day. Don't let it fucking spiral into this 2-3 day thing or this depression where you're just feeling sorry for yourself, because that ain't gonna get you nowhere, dude. Feeling sorry for yourself ain't gonna get you nowhere. You're not gonna be a champion. You're not gonna look your best running around feeling sorry for yourself. It happened. You get back on the horse. You get all your fucking food prepped. You get ready to go. And then you wake up you fall asleep and you wake up the next day and it's over. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. 10 weeks out tomorrow. Time to fucking turn it up a notch. So those are the 2 lessons I wanted to share with everybody and kind of talk about with you guys. And none of us are perfect, man, but it's all about your effort and what you put into it and keeping mistakes to a minimum and not feeling sorry for yourself. That ain't gonna get you fucking nowhere. So Adam Mcvey, gearedup.com. Peace out. There's one other thing that I wanted to say. It's a couple minutes later after I just recorded the last video. And that's, out of failure comes strength. Sometimes you gotta fail in life in order to learn who you are, whether it's business or being a father or a husband or a brother, whether it's being an athlete, etc. Professional athletes fail on a week-to-week basis, and then they watch film and they get better. There's nothing wrong with failure as long as you use failure as a tool to get better. Out of failure comes strength. So if you fail, you have 2 options. You can quit, you can get mad, you can get depressed, you can just be mediocre and be a normal person, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can also use that failure and turn it into a strength in order to get you to the next level. And in my opinion, failure is necessary for you to get to that next level. I know it is for me. I know with Geared Up, I've tried a lot of different things, and not all of them have worked, but a lot have. I know that my social media following was built on negativity, and now I'm changing over to a new positive direction because I recognize that if I continue with the negativity, I'm going to fail. And I would have never known that had I not been, negative in the first place, and had I not experienced that. So you have to, it goes with training too, man. You got to try different training styles and see what works for you. See what works for your genetics. You got to try different dieting styles and see what works for your genetics. And sometimes you might try a dieting style for 6 months and it might not work. So technically you failed because you're not any better. So you could just quit. Or you could look at it as, I spent the last 6 months learning and now I'm better because of it. So sometimes failure is necessary for you to be at your best. And I guarantee that this little hiccup, this 16-hour window of failure will ultimately culminate in a strength. Because now I'm motivated as fuck. I was motivated before, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons, man. I'm so afraid of failing because if I get on stage and look like shit, there's going to be so many people just sitting there waiting to laugh at me. But I can't think about that. I can't worry about that. That's not motivation. Some people might take that as motivation, but for me, it's not motivation. For me, I put pressure on myself because I want the respect of my peers. I got a lot of really, really, really cool people and really respected individuals and successful people that are rooting for me, that are messaging me, that are looking at my pictures, telling me I'm making progress. And I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let my friends down. I don't want them to see me. I don't want them to see me fail. I don't want anybody to see me fail. I don't want my daughter to see me fail. And so part of the reason this whole thing occurred was because I was looking at it from the wrong angle, man. I was looking at it because I was afraid that people were going to talk shit if I wasn't at my best. But in actuality, I was putting pressure on myself because I don't want my friends to see me fail. Because I'm afraid of being a failure in front of everybody else. But there's nothing wrong with failing. Because if you fail, that means you fucking tried, man. That means you attempted something. You followed through with it. And you just weren't the best. And again, you can take that. You can be weak. You could quit. Or you could take it as a lesson and you can move forward in your life and get better and improve. One thing John Meadows said to me at the Arnold Classic, and I said this on the show before, is that the thing that he respects the most out of me is that I learn as I go and I change and I evolve. I mature. And he said that's a very rare trait for somebody to have in his experience. And he's dealt with a lot of people in his life. And what he means by that is that people get stuck in their ways. They get to a certain age and they don't evolve anymore. And one of my strengths is that I can evolve and I can learn from my mistakes because I have a vision of what I want to be, not only as a bodybuilder, but as a man and as a businessman, as an entertainer. And I know that I don't know everything there is to know about any of that stuff. So when I see things around me that give me less, that teach me things, I take those to heart. And then I try different things. And sometimes I fail and sometimes I don't. This isn't a failure. It's a blip. Yeah, it's a fail. Actually, I'm not going to fucking sugarcoat it. It's a fail. But I'm going to come out stronger on the other side. And that's what you guys need to do too, man. Like, don't let failure fucking scare you, and don't let failure beat you up. It doesn't really exist anywhere except for in your head. That's it. It's just a story you're telling yourself. And it's an easy way out. Don't take the easy way out. Take the hard way out. Do what you got to do to get better. Do what you got to do to succeed. And if you fucking fail, you fucking get right back up on the horse, like I said earlier in the video, and you fucking man up and you kill it. And that's it. That's it, man. Yeah, you're going to be tired. Yeah, it's going to suck. You might lose some money, depending on the situation. None of that shit matters. All that matters is that you learn from the situation. That's what life's all about. Evolving as a man, evolving as a woman, continuing to learn, continuing to kill the process. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm just going to fucking keep rambling if I keep talking. So here we go. 10 weeks out tomorrow. I'm back on the treadmill. I took my 1 day yesterday. Matt told me to take 3 days. I took my 1 day. I felt sorry for myself. I smacked myself in the face. I got back up. I dusted myself off. And here we are, back on the fucking road to being my best.